Welcome to Week 14 Tilt Space. I'm terrible at cold opens, so you know what? Here's the intro. All right, Joe, we're here without our fearless leader, Peter. Congrats to him and his wife for the birth of their daughter, April. We're trying to win some money for April, but it's off to a rocky start, Joe.
Yeah, well, congrats, Pete. That was a pretty good cold intro attempt, at least. Like you sounded like you were like impersonating Pete, which is the best we could ask for at this point because the lineups are not good.
If you listen to just the voice inflection and none of the actual words, it might have been okay.
Yeah, you've
So
seen enough of those cold opens, or you've been on enough shows with him. You know the inflection. Just the words are what separates Pete from the rest of us.
yes, absolutely. Um, yeah, so I'll bring up the teams. We played in the Wildcat. We just did 2 teams this week with Peter out. I know we've talked a little bit about maybe going back to some smaller field stuff, but we decided to do the Wildcat, and it's a little bit of a tough start for us. We had a Geno team. This is the one team that we wanted to play a little bit of the Minnesota Detroit game, even though we knew it'd be pretty chalky. I actually got decent ownership on Dalvin. ETN's higher than I thought. I thought he'd be
Yeah,
mega low.
yeah.
Actually, really surprised that Sanders is half of ETN. So this team is off to a pretty slow start. If ETN could do anything, it would actually wouldn't be totally dead. But the other team we made was a Mahomes team, and man, we talked about a few different iterations. One had Pollard over Mixon, which would look amazing right now. Another had Hinton over Dorsett, like full. The one was the full stack where we could have gone McKinnon
Hmm.
over Cook and then Hinton over Dorsett. And that one, if we had played the Chase Pollard on that, we could at least we could dream a little bit if we had had that iteration. But there were like 3 or 4 iterations, so it's like easy to say, oh, if we would have landed on
Easy to
that
say that.
one.
But like you said before we jumped on, like we were hovering around the right plays. We just clearly didn't put the right combination together for this team. I don't know. We'd at least have some hope with Mahomes coming, who I think is going to be pretty low. But um,
Yeah. Oh, I
what's
mean,
what's big dog in this?
if this is Mahomes, Pollard, McKinnon, Hinton, we could at least pretend on things. Hey, he had another Dorsett catch. Let's see what big dog is. Yeah, the big dog fade is going as expected.
I
24
mean,
first half points at 26%. I honestly don't even think 26% is that bad at ownership. I just like the builds without him a bit better, more so than I was like super actively fading him. Evan Ingram just absolutely going off though with a nice mini correlation there. That's winning that.
what's kind of interesting about Henry, normally these weeks where he's going to be extremely heavily owned, it's the opposite of what happened today. And what I mean by that is at the higher stakes you go, the more Henry there is. Usually, like the casuals are just like salivating to play Henry, and like the $3 play action, the milli, they're all much lower than some of the higher stakes stuff. So maybe that was something we should have considered a little bit more. I think I have one share across like my 8 teams or so. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting for sure to see what he landed on in this.
Yeah, I thought he was like, I don't know.
Like he's
Thought he was an
35%
okay
of
play.
Thunderdome. Did you expect that?
Yeah, I did. In
Yeah.
Thunderdome, I did. What I was shocked about in the Thunderdome was I played Zeke, and if you take my team out of it, Zeke and Pollard were played the same. And one of my last swaps was onto Pollard
Mm.
was onto Zeke off of Pollard because I was really worried that there'd just be so much Pollard. So that really hurt. The other thing that just killed me, I put it in the tweet for this, but I'm one of 2 people with Austin Hooper in the Thunderdome
Of course.
who I thought was like fine. You know, Okonkwo was 36%. And
Just quick burial there.
you just need the touchdown to go to Hooper instead. Hooper's 2 for 18, punt tight end. It's kind of what you expect for a half. So that one hurts quite a bit.
Yeah. And the Pollard stuff is the opposite of the Henry stuff. Pollard was just piled on at lower stakes. And then as soon as you start to go towards the higher stakes, he's much lower. So
Yeah.
interesting. And in the I mean, 46% Amon-Ra, Dallas D at 34%. That's got to be close to the highest we've seen all year, right? Like definitely for like a higher price defense.
Yeah, I actually had us lower our Dallas D ownership percentage because I was like, I don't think people are going to play
Hmm.
an expensive D. Like it'll be chalk, but it won't be this chalky. And I was wrong. Super chalky.
Hey, how do people make that work, right? Is this all these cheap like wide receivers?
Yeah, I felt like teams for me. So you can see Steelers D was 19%. I'm just scrolling through random teams.
Yeah.
I think Pollard was good at 20%.
Mhm.
That's one I didn't get enough of. Uh, that I just really like the ceiling play there. I thought he was going to get steamed more than he did. The Eagle stuff didn't get steamed at all. You can see here's a nice Hurts double that someone has about 5% on everything, and Miles was 5%. All the Eagle stuff was really good. Um, yeah, Dallas D 24%. I think when I was building, if you just threw in there just wasn't much I felt like in the 4,500 range
Mhm.
at wide receiver. So it was a lot of like if you threw in the punt wide receiver, you could kind of go with the expensive D. If you didn't, you kind of had to go with like the Steelers or Panthers or something.
Yeah. Well, there's probably not much we can do in swap right now, right? Because our Mahomes stuff we're already banking on that being relatively low as a combination. So I'm not sure what else we can really do with these teams right now.
Yeah,
Get off Dulcich,
there's
maybe? I don't know.
there's we got to get off Dulcich, but there's just not too much we
Outside of
can do.
that, yeah.
Yeah, we got to right. I mean, I think we play Hinton over Dulcich.
Yeah.
Um, is probably the play.
I
The
don't like
only
weeks like
other
this.
thing would be if we wanted a little bit more ceiling, who are the late quarterback? If we did like a single and then we got Dulcich up to like Debo or something, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, getting to Debo would be a priority, I would think. I'm just looking through
the
right now.
problem is that
I hate
Geno's going to
these.
be played.
It's true. Yeah, I
So
don't think
you
Geno
can't
honestly,
do
like, Brady's
Geno.
probably more leverage than Geno.
Yeah, I guess you could do like
Like a Brady we could do
Brady.
like a Brady Evans Debo. I don't think we have salary for that. We might with Kelsey.
I don't think we quite have enough, but that is, I think, like the type of thing we probably should do is get like three mid-tier plays. Let's see what we can do.
We might be able to make that work.
Let's see. It
I
might
was
be
just saying, I
close
hate these
actually.
type of weeks.
Brady's
I
pretty
like when
cheap.
we have a lot of really strong plays late, or at least a lot of the chalk is late. This is like, there's not much you can do because a lot of the chalk is going right now. So if you were playing things in the late slate anyway, like there's not much you can do to actually improve your teams.
Yeah, we can't do Brady, Debo, Evans. We could do like Brady, Godwin, Kittle, I guess.
That's pretty
But
good.
maybe we should do that. Brady, Godwin, Kittle. I think that's as good as we're gonna get.
Just throw a
All
Noah
right.
Gray in there instead of Dulcich, and then we can probably get to the Brady Evans.
We could do, I mean, you can do Brady, Evans, Kittle, but I think I like Godwin more than Evans.
Do you? I mean, I
I
guess the
think
ownership's gonna be basically the same.
I think they're both gonna be low, but I mean, Evans maybe has a little bit more TD upside.
Yeah, I think you're right on ceiling though. It's probably Godwin. It's only $300 more.
Yeah. That would get us Brady, Godwin, Kittle, Kelsey.
Uh, what's Kelsey going to be though? Because like we're looking at like Mahomes is 8K. Like Mahomes is going to be 5%. Brady is 1%. Are we really improving our team that much?
I think the improvement is
Getting to Debo.
yeah, it's Dulcich to Kittle.
Okay.
It would be but I don't know if it's worth it. If we could do Debo instead of Kittle, I think it'd be worth it. But I don't think we can't really. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
leave it for now and we'll come
Okay.
back to it. We should
Yeah.
definitely get off Dulcich though.
Yeah.
But we got some time to think about that one.
Yeah. I have like a wide open Mahomes team right now that's not doing terrible. I'm just debating what I should do with it. I don't know. We still have a little bit of time. So like I have a Mahomes team that's wide open that has AJ Brown on it and Joe Mixon. So like if Joe Mixon does nothing, I assume I got to move off of some of this in here. Dulcich for sure. I don't know. There's a few things that I had wide open that are not looking good outside of a Henry team.
Yeah. Amon Ra was real low until that 2 minute drill. And now he's still low. He's only 3 for 40, but You know, he's a lot more chance. He's avoiding the complete failure, which it looked like for a while there might come. You do have Detroit up in that game, but only by a touchdown.
What's kind of interesting is like some of my content I'm doing like pretty early in the week, and I guess you are too, but like getting to like Chark early in the week, it's like, oh, this play makes a ton of
Yeah.
sense. High tempo game, all that stuff. It's like we might get him around 10%. He's just piled on everywhere by the time we get to Sunday.
Yeah, you can see this team that's winning right now did the golf double with the Jefferson bring back. It's real chalky, but they have two sub 2% plays. I
Mm.
mean, if you're going to play two sub 2% plays, you can play whatever you want. And Evan Ingram's a slate breaker right now. And Najee Harris is like fine. And that's one of the things CSU Rams was saying on Wake and Rake is, dude, running back, it's like, I mean, obviously, this team has Henry, so it doesn't matter. Like, Henry's the tough fade, but a lot of teams, it's like, if you can get a running back that scores like 15 to 18 points, you might not get killed by the expensive wide receivers, whereas the expensive wide receivers could bury, your kind of mid-tier wide receivers. At least that's what we've seen a lot this year. So this guy just basically needs Jefferson, Amon-Ra to get going, and this team looks really good. He's also hitting on the best pump play so far, which is Chris Moore for Houston instead of Dorsett.
Yep,
Um,
that would be nice. What's interesting, like Jefferson's like so quietly at 16 right now. Like he's got 7 catches already. I didn't even realize that because I haven't seen him on red zone once.
yeah, Jefferson's so good that he can have this quiet game because that's a 16-point game that could very easily become a 40-point game. Um, Down by 7, you're going to be throwing a lock to get the bonus. Basically, if he finds the end zone, he's probably putting up, 35, 40.
Yeah. Man, I don't know if this is correct, but T. Higgins, questionable return of the hamstring. Boyd is out. Like the Chase alphas are about to go nuts.
I hope so. The Higgins stuff's really annoying. So this is the second time this year where Higgins has had an injury and basically been active but not played.
Mm.
And he was taken completely off the injury report this week, but apparently they knew he wasn't going to play a lot this week, which is bullshit. Like I mean, I know they don't care about fantasy and gambling, and nor should they, but it is really annoying from from the perspective that like he should have been on the injury report.
Right. Yeah. Did he play any snaps in this game? It's another game I haven't seen much of on red
I
zone.
don't know. I think he might have played very early.
So questionable return. That was at 12:57. So yeah, like he was in the game for at least a little bit, but who knows how many snaps. Anyways,
Yeah.
not great. I actually have I have some decent chase stuff going, so I guess that's what I'm holding out for right now. I built a pretty wild team on stream this morning with Joe Burrow, Chase, Skinny, and then both Pollard and Zeke. And then I have like some chalk around it, like Chark and those type of plays. And it's not looking bad right now because no Henry on
Nice.
it is not great, but I don't know. I didn't love any of those like mid-tier guys this week, so I was kind of trying to build something just unique around the chalk. But we used to see that work in college football DFS all the time, and I would say this is something I would never run out if it was like over 100 people. But this is like super small field stuff I'm playing, so sometimes just like capturing all that isn't the worst in a matchup like this, or we're really not sure where the touchdowns are going to go.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And you also just never know like how a slate's going to play out. Like I think sometimes it's easy to be like, oh, you need to, hit the perfect play from the game, and sometimes you don't need the absolute nuts. Like you said, you just kind of get in on a team, and that team scores a lot of points, and you're fine.
You could use that P Ryan touchdown to go to Mixon. That would have been nice, but
that P Ryan touchdown was like I felt like my main Thunderdome team, which is Mixon, Burrow, Chase, was like hanging on by a thread, and that P Ryan TD feels like it just killed it because it's like if it's a rush TD to Mixon, I'm fine. If it's a passing TD to anyone, it's like okay.
Mm-hmm.
But oh man, dude, Tyler Huntley just got real messed up. Apparently he's okay. Jeez, he's getting up. His body was just twisted in a super weird way.
Yes.
I could go for Devonta Smith touchdown. No, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. But yeah, we might have a shorter episode than usual without Peter and with our teams. Teams in tough shape here.
Let's talk about like our game selection for a second. Obviously, this year hasn't been great for, I mean, many GPP players, but I'm like, do you think, am I overreacting? Because we used to just build like one team, played in the 1500, and just really try to leverage small field. This year, we've basically almost exclusively played the Wildcat and haven't had a ton of success with that yet. Do you think some of that is game selection? Do you think it's a combination of that and just like the chalk has been hitting extremely high? Or should we pivot to something different? Or I don't know. I'm still like not convinced the Wildcat is the play for us, but it might
Oh,
be. It's not the
Devonta.
play for me. I know that, like on my own stuff, but for us as a
Yeah.
group, it might be.
So I think Devonta Smith just almost caught another
Yeah, I
TD.
saw that.
Oh,
Sanders gonna just run it in now.
I think he's out. It's going to be incomplete
Oh,
altogether. So part of our problem right now is we want the allure of winning a lot of money without spending a lot of money. And the Wildcat is kind of the place for that,
yeah.
which is just, a greed type thing. I do think no matter what we played this year, it wouldn't have really mattered, just the way stuff has been shaking
That could be
out.
true.
That doesn't, I do still like playing the smaller field stuff. Like I do kind of rather like playing like one team and like the game changers, probably a little bit more my preference, but
Yeah.
the nature of this show, it's like, oh, if we make 2 or 3 Wildcat teams, there's a better chance we run into one team that's like doing well, even though it's like harder to win the actual first place.
Is that the only thing I would push back there is like it's such a larger field.
Who's on him?
We're dead a lot quicker too, though, with these. You know what I mean? Like if we don't have certain guys, like we don't
Yeah.
have a fucking chance to win. Like at least in small field, we can charge at times. I don't know. I think you're probably right on the end result. I'm not convinced that like it gives us a better chance to have sweats on stream though.
It gives us a better chance to have a team that's not dead. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe.
Maybe not better
My only
chance,
point is like our by
but
playing
like
that tournament, our chances of being dead to win are probably the same.
maybe dead to win first. Yeah. But like, for example, our Mahomes team this week, like let's say we play the McKinnon Pollard combination. Like, that team's at least like fun to root for. We can dream on it a little bit more. You're certainly right in terms of like odds to like take first place. Like it's definitely better than the game changer, even with one team versus 3. Like it's just way less entries.
Yeah, like
I would rather
I know
play
it's
the
better
game
for me at this point. I don't know what's best for us still. Maybe this is right. And it's more fun, obviously, because we can kind of punt off like our couple entries into the Wildcat a little easier than punting off into the 1500 every week.
Yeah. I mean, I'm totally fine playing the game changer. I like playing the game changer. I like those field sizes better. It's just, we are chasing the glory of like just banking 200K a little bit without spending a lot of money.
I would enjoy that. I would prefer that. So
problem is, the hasn't quite worked out the way we wanted.
I win them all.
Yeah. No, you certainly cannot win them all. Man, I was kind of late. I should have definitely shifted some more target share to Chris Moore from Dorset. He's just like an easier target body.
Oh, so you're the person I get to blame for my Dorset shares.
Yeah,
I was looking for someone to blame.
You can blame me.
This Dallas game is kind of wild, man. Can you imagine they lose right now to Houston at 9-3? That's huge for the Vikings.
It is also fun having the Dallas D chalk donkeys not get there.
Yeah, I mean, this day could be a lot worse if Dallas had like 25 right now.
Yeah, I feel like this is the season. The weeks have played out 2 ways. Either the chalk smashes and I'm dead, or like we get a gettable week like this and it just like we just don't quite have the right combination. Like last year I was running so pure that just sometimes just the randomness of the way things lined up, like how much chalk fails and like when does it fail.
Yeah,
like
that's always going to be my argument in favor of like we're not going to hit that combination. It's a lot easier to not hit that combination and still win in small field. As you know, you play small field more than I do, obviously the higher stakes. So big difference between playing like the the 1K with like 70 people, and then yours is the Thunderdrome's usually like 30 to 40, right?
Yeah, 30
So
to
you're even
40.
smaller field than me usually.
Yeah, the difficult part has been I feel like AJ Brown's a good example. He's had 2 weeks where he's gone nuclear, and neither week did you need to have him because the chalk wide receivers hit so much.
Yeah.
And like that's whereas last year it felt like those weeks lined up on the correct weeks. Like a week like this week, where at least early on, I'm on Ross St. Brown's like not doing that good, and then having AJ Brown over him is like a massive, massive swing, right? So
Yeah.
it just those things just haven't lined up great. The ETN thing I tweeted about last week, which is the injury stuff didn't affect him in any way, shape, or form last week, and he was like 15% instead of like 55%, right? Because of
Hmm.
the injury stuff. And it's like something that didn't impact him. If he was never injured, he would have been a huge chalk value at 55%, and that would have been an amazing opportunity. And instead, he's actually like a pretty good GPP play. And then, man, this Ingram goes over the bonus, just absolutely smashing.
Wild. That would have been a nice little mini Dallas D fumble recovery. We're jinxing him right into putting it down our
I
throats.
know. Can we can we get a Zeke touchdown? This is what my life's come to,
Oh
cheering for Zeke
God.
touchdowns. Joe, I'm not proud, but I do what I have to do.
I respect it. I respect it. I've been trying to think for the right moment to unload the Zeke helmet that I have. I'd imagine that's not going to be worth much in a year or two, so I should probably unload that bad boy.
Well, let's get a couple Zeke touchdowns in the second half. Put
Hmm.
this game away. You sell the helmet, and that's the way it goes. We need Burrow, Chase, Mixon drive like 3 in a row.
Yeah, we'll take that. On the plus side, think I just hit the over with Steven Sims Jr. So that's where we're at.
Ooh, hey,
We'll
it
take
doesn't
that.
matter how gross the player is. Once they're over, they're over.
This is true. Yep, 7.5. Take that. That little 11-yard catch. How we doing?
What is it? Is he tired? He's taking himself out of the game. What's he tired? Zeke, you don't need to
He
get
looks
tired.
tired, man. Come
My God, Zeke.
on.
Do you not realize the situation at play here?
Oh boy. The Pollard
Oh,
thing is
geez.
extra
Wow.
tilting because I thought for a while that that Pollard was in our team. I know I couldn't remember which exact iteration we threw in because I forgot to update the one on my DraftKings.
We were really close to a team that would be fun.
Well, that's the way she goes. I'm not even sure what to cheer for right now. Does Austin Hooper have a catch? We could cheer for that.
Got 2 catches.
Oh, nice.
So I could go for a third. I've got over 2.5. Like, I'm with you. This is
I don't think I have any of that. I have a lot of prize picks going. That is not one of the ones I landed on. I get scared of the tight end stuff on prize picks because like the overs always look nice, but like you got to think that even just these target shares are so volatile.
yeah.
I've noticed that, and I've been a little bit too aggressive on like running back receiving overs. Those seem to be not quite as good too.
Yeah, I mean, historically, running back and tight end overs are pretty bad,
Yeah.
but it's also the market's adjusted a lot this year. So it's like some of them they're like begging you to take. You
I
got to
mean,
be
yeah, I mean, I've said
selective.
it before. Like, Prize Picks is totally different than like a lot of the other books. Like, they beg you to take overs,
They've like even over adjusted, I'm pretty
big
sure.
time. That's why, like, I almost exclusively take overs over there. It's like people are chirping me on the threads and stuff for like the Prize Picks threads. I was like, take 5 seconds and look at the lines. Like, there's not many unders that are even like kind of palatable.
Yeah.
I take like probably like 5% unders on Prize Picks. It's crazy. It's closer to like actually like a DFS game. Obviously, I guess it is a DFS game, but like you're almost like correlating your stacks almost in some ways, or correlating your prop bets. It's a lot different than just like betting props.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been some good underdog ones early in the week. I know last week, like the Mike White, Garrett Wilson stuff was lined real bad.
Yep.
Like, especially if you hit it on Wednesday before, because a lot of times, I mean, I think these sites are just copying what the real sports books are doing.
Yep. You got to get it early.
So yeah, you get it early before the props are available on the real sports books, and they're making their own lines, and that's when you've got the best
Josh
chance.
Allen rushing TD.
Zeke 2-yard gain.
Yeah, the best one was shout out PSU fans too, and what they're doing with their college football projections, but getting like the college football stuff early on Prize Picks was just printing money earlier this year.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's great. Chase is getting fed. Yep. Seen this before.
Yeah, but now they're punting, which I don't like. Come on. Oh man, Dale's second and goal, but Zeke's in, but it's kind of far out. I think they're gonna throw. Oh no, they're running. Go Zeke. Zeke down to the 3.
So
got Josh Allen over 7.5 rush attempts for plus money. So I think he's at 6.
That's an interesting one. I haven't really touched the rush attempts probably as much as I should.
They're pretty good because usually that's like a little bit more predictable. There's a little bit more variance with the yardage.
The attempts, yeah. That makes sense.
Oh my God, Zeke 3 straight carries.
Down at the 1, 4th down, someone says in chat.
Just give Zeke his touchdown, please. God. We're bagging it. We're bagging.
We were going to get a Detroit defense run out just then, but nope. So chalk that we have coming outside of Dulcich, what is it? DJ Moore?
DJ Moore. I think Gino maybe a little bit.
Maybe not the weapons there, really.
Yeah.
Zeke stuffed. Oh God.
I hate my life.
That's so rough. That is so rough. That would have been nice. I would have taken a Zeke touchdown there. My double running back team would be very happy with that.
Yeah. Zeke's like not that far away from having like a solid fantasy game at his price too.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Both done together I would have been fucking laughing right now.
Yeah, for sure. But it's not happening.
Life's not fair. This Joe Mixon stuff is honestly awful because it's ruining some of my teams that are wide open for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really liked Mixon this week, and that's been obviously a pretty big miss. Dude, Ravens D's going nuts. Fucking Trubisky in here has just turned the ball over left and right.
I have one Ravens team. It was a team I built like very early in the week. I was like, oh, everyone's going to play Pittsburgh D.
I think
here's one I built on stream.
Finally score or no? No, he got stuffed. Yeah.
Oh my God, Swift is cooking. Dude, Detroit is going to beat the Vikings.
The Swift score?
No. Man, he's got some juice though.
Yeah, he does for sure. All right, Joe, maybe we should figure out this swap.
All right.
Get out of here. Let's see.
Let's Trevor Lawrence flag though.
The easy swap is to just go Hinton, who I think Hinton will be like 8%. And then Dulcich will be like 25. So I kind of think we just go to Hinton and hope the game shoots out and get ourselves a.
Hope we get something for Mixon the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's probably still just like we're not gaining much from moving away from the Mahomes stuff because it's going to be so low.
Yeah. The only thing you'd gain is if you had. It'd be a great spot if we could play like a naked, cheap quarterback who could run, and then we could get like an actual upside guy instead of Hinton. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like a Judy. But that quarterback doesn't exist, right? I mean,
yeah, there's nothing like that on the slate or on the second half of the slate.
Yeah, you can't play Brady by himself. Like,
no.
Yeah, so I think let's go Hinton.
Okay. Hinton's going to be relatively low, right?
I think he'll be single digits, but
Do we like
I don't think
Hinton
he's not going to be like
more?
2%. But I think we want the correlation a little bit there, right? I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say your boy Terrence Marshall,
I
Chenault.
like Terrace Marshall. That's not a straight swap though. We're off on salary with that
Oh
one.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right.
Or we just throw Justin Watson in there and just hope that KC boat races them.
Ooh, Amon Ra almost chalk almost got in the end zone. Oh no, I guess that wasn't Amon Ra. I thought it was
Raymond.
Raymond. All right. Peter, I'm sorry we didn't win any money for April. You're still gonna have to figure out the college savings there.
I think that's going to be our thumbnail template for the rest of the time until Pete comes back from leave. Everyone that's burying us is just going to be on Pete's face from now on. That's the play. Josh Reynolds touchdown. I think that's our cue.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's definitely our cue.
Well,
Peace.
see you next week.